The next question is, what you're doing as the new man on the earth. You're very focused on the earth. And there are many, many worlds and realms and over 2 trillion galaxies just in the physical. And then we have the astral level and many, many more levels, and many levels just in the astral realm, mental, etheric, causal, etc. And there are many types of beings. What's going on in the other places with these beings? Are the boys working with them, the real guides, and you as the new man, and a focus? How does the is-light go there? And for these individuals to become more aware and actually recognize the isness life is and the real universe is of pure sound and light, do they need to incarnate on the earth to do this?
Yeah, that's a good question, and that's been asked many times. First of all, I will say that, as you said about the trillions of galaxies and dimensions and whatever, and yes, there is an opening for a management janitorial services. So if you're interested in maintaining those areas, I'm sure you'll qualify, okay? So that's number one. Basically, all right, you have to understand how life is. It's an isness. So what you've done is you've broken it down into all the puzzle pieces. From the is, it's all completeness. So it's how you see it. When you're on the earth, it's like, okay, we're on the earth, and there's Mars and Jupiter, and then you got trillions of stars and planets, whatever. It's like, what are all those other people doing? Well, guess what? These are all parallel realities. There's something else going on there. If the opportunity avails itself, in other words, let's look at the moon, which is, a fake planet, and who's on the moon? What's taking place there? Well, again, you're probably not going to find anything there because, yeah, is a moon base hidden on the dark side. That's why they keep the moon like it is. There's a dark side and there's a light side. The moon never revolves because it's a fake planet. And so they keep the hidden bases on the dark side is what they do, so that they're not seen from the earth. Because there's a lot of little minions out there, besides NASA, who is with the dark side, with their little telescopes, and they're going to see what's going on. So they keep it so that it's always facing one way. The moon can really be just a giant disk, and you're just seeing one side of it. You don't know. So they're telling you it's round, but are you sure? It can just be a big reflective disk. Things are happening everywhere with this reality and with the guides and the boys. It's happening everywhere because it is the whole of life. But in our minds, we're only seeing the physical body here is all we're seeing. But it's actually happening simultaneously everywhere in its own particular way. But we don't need to be everywhere. I don't need to know what's going on everywhere because it's the same basic thing that's taking place here. You just focus in one place. And it's just like anything that you're doing in your life, all those people in their jobs and their situations and their personal lives and whatever, it's just like what you're doing. It's not important. But as you eventually have the bigger view, as you see it from the is, how the is sees it, you will see everything and how it's working. It's really cool how it is. That question is asked from the personal self, and it's understandable because it's in the pieces. Just like us on Earth, we're standing here looking up at the sky, but we're actually bigger than the sky. And we should take the view of looking down upon the sky. You see, it's where your view is. And what you decide to recognize, you have to decide it. And then you'll eventually see it. It's all in that deciding. And this is where people have been fooled into thinking that, oh no, all you have to do is believe and have faith and hope that it will happen. Those three. And it never will. Like waiting for Jesus. It'll never happen. Simply because that's where you stay trapped, because you've agreed to stay trapped. You've agreed to not explore, not to enlarge your view, not to learn to do so, and even look for real guidance that equals that. Most people, they want to find a master, and they want spiritual growth and understanding, and that's all they want. So they just want more cute little ideas to play with so that they're cuddly and cozy. We are the great explorers. This is where I'm heading people on. The projects themselves, they actually create a magnification, the slingshot effect, to where people will better recognize the all is. It gets them out of their la-la land to take the risk and see more, take on this challenge to do so. It becomes the endless adventure. And it becomes real. And it's a good question. It really is. That is not going to explain that to a literalized professor in college. He's not going to take it. It's because they want to explore all the phenomena that's taking place. That kind of X's everything out because the all is an unknown. It can't be proven in any which way or even considered realistically, and anything that's considered about it is not so. That's not it. How do you get to this reality? How do you see it or recognize it? And that recognition cannot be shared. You see, we can share information, we can share ideas and get agreement with it. Like we can pass money around and say, here's $5, go buy ice cream. Oh, that's a reality in the physical sense. But sharing this recognition, no, we can't do that. Because it's where you stand that you must see it from that position. And everybody stands in their own position, so they must see it from there. What you're seeing, whatever you see of it, no, that's your position that you're standing in. They can learn to stand in your position. This is what the boys do. They can see what you're seeing. That's why they picked you, because they can see your intent. They give you the chance. And what you do with that is up to you. That becomes the adventure too. It's amazing how it is. Whenever there's one thing, whatever it is, the smallest thing, the so-called smallest thing, it could be an ant or a bug. It's endless. It has endless options to it. And so this is where we get locked into certain ideas. And again, these become control factors, don't they? These ideas that are constantly agreed upon that become a routine, they become control factors is what they are. This is where we move around. We utilize things, but we don't want to become limited by them. It's not that you're trapped by them. There's a difference between being trapped and limited and tap line. There is a difference between these things. And there's a difference between knowing and unknowing effect. We are in this world and we're the effect of it. That's okay. We can handle it. And this is what we're going through. We can handle it because it all equals that recognition of the is. That must be it, because just the knowledge alone is worthless altogether. It's just like the boys in the past. They were not educated. I'm not an educated person. Not at all, not even close. The thing is, I've created my own education, which surpasses anything on the planet. That's a lot more fun. It's a real education. That's what we're doing. It's not about that, because this is secondary stuff. What is being implied here, no matter how many diplomas a person has, no matter how many degrees, that's secondhand. That's an implied education, like implied freedom. What we're learning here is real education. This supersedes everything. The reason that it's not accepted so much is because people cannot see it. You have to learn to see it. I would say children can see it. They laugh and giggle. It's like, oh yeah, that's how you, but parents, the adults, they can't see it because they're into their own secondary implied education, just like the ideas of freedom. They think, oh, we're free. We can walk around and cook what we want, go to the store. They think that's freedom. No, actually the roads and the sidewalks and everything were built for them to walk on, and that's where they're to go. It's all implied freedoms. But you recognize that. You are the effect of that, and it's a conscious effect, which is okay, which is nothing is negated. Now, Paul broke it down to even food, the ek foods and the cow foods. Again, this was the starting stages. That's like when you're a little baby and you have blocks. It's like, okay, this block is here and this block goes here, and this block says A on it and this one says B on it. And those were the babysitting stages. We're past that now. We're into the big adventure to recognize the is and to do something wonderful while we're here, because this triggers that. Plus, we bring in more people that are ready to be the risk takers, and we see their light, we recognize them, they recognize us, and it's all about that recognition. So everybody does better. It's not about a blind membership. There's a difference. It's not about how many people you have, like the religions of the world. They feel it's in numbers. So they don't care if the people, just like the people that vote, just like the people that are following the campaigns, these are unaware people, and that's what they want. They want the unaware masses. We don't. What if we had a bunch of unaware people here? All we'd have is chaos. That's why the world is chaos. You see, the controllers want unaware people. Now they have to deal with them. Yeah, they do. Plus all the karma they're making with their human farming. Well, we don't want the unaware people. We want the people that want to become more aware. That's where we're uniquely different. As we're on this endless adventure, even the simplest things become an awe, don't they? they become awesome. And this is where people, in a way, leave themselves. They think, well, I've got this. I got the basic idea. No, you don't. You have nothing because it's endless. And you'll just be left behind if you don't keep up. A lot of people have missed a lot because they haven't been here. I see every meeting is very important, every single one, because there's always something. There's always something else as a reminder. We need a lot of reminders because we have these 5 bodies and we go get involved in the city life and whatever. And it seems so real, and it seems, we have friends and relationships and we're happy and we're hugging each other, and that's all fine. But we forget what's really taking place many times, and we need reminders. We need a lot of help to keep us going. It's a choice. It's simply a choice. And again, that's why I've created the projects. You can go to your 9-to-5 cool job, 9-to-5 boring job, or you can become involved with the projects. And this is where your focus is always on what you're doing realistically. And that can be your life. It can be anything. You decide.